You know, when we think about the next big leap in PC gaming, we usually picture, like, a beefier graphics card, right? But what if the real revolution isn't about more power, but about where you play? Because Valve, yeah, the folks behind Steam, they're quietly working on something that could let your entire PC library break free from your desk. And honestly, it's a total game changer.
Seriously, just think about the beefiest, most demanding game you have on Steam right now. Got it? Okay, now picture firing that game up not on your big glowing desktop rig, but on the phone that's probably in your hand or your pocket. I mean, that sounds like pure science fiction, right? Well, believe it or not, Valve is actually working to make that happen.
And look, this isn't just some wild idea they're kicking around. Right now, as we speak, Valve is building the actual software to basically break PC games free from the desktop. The big question, though, is how in the world are they pulling off this little bit of technical magic?
Okay, so let's pull back the curtain and see how this all works. The entire dream really hinges on one super clever piece of software that Valve has been working on and perfecting for a long, long time.
And it all kicks off with something called Proton. If you have a Steam Deck, you're already using it, maybe without even knowing. Think of Proton as this magic wand that Valve created. It's a special kind of software, a compatibility layer that lets games made for Windows run perfectly on Linux. And honestly, for years now, Proton has been the living proof that you don't actually need Windows to have an amazing PC gaming experience.
But, you know, Proton was really just step one. Now Valve is adding another piece to the puzzle, a tool called FEX-Emu. So here's how it works. You start with your normal Windows game, right? The kind built for a regular PC chip. You know, x86 architecture, the stuff from Intel or AMD. Then, this is the magic part. Proton and FEX-Emu team up. Proton handles the Windows to Linux part, and then FEX-Emu translates all those instructions so they can be understood by an ARM chip. That's the kind of chip you find in your phone. It's basically like having a real-time universal translator for your games, letting them speak a totally foreign hardware language.
Now, if any of this is starting to sound familiar, it's because it totally should. Apple did this exact same thing with Rosetta 2. Remember when they switched their Macs from Intel chips over to their own Apple silicon? Rosetta 2 was the magic that let all the old Intel apps just work on the new ARM hardware. What Valve is doing here is basically creating an open source Rosetta, but for the entire PC gaming world. It's a huge deal.
So, you see, this isn't just some cool tech project they're tinkering with. No, this is a core part of a much, much bigger strategy for Valve and what they see as the future of Steam.
And this really says it all, doesn't it? The dream is that any device with a chip can play games from Steam. It's such a simple idea, but it's also incredibly radical. The whole point is that your Steam library shouldn't be locked down to just one PC. If a device has a processor, it should be able to play your games. And, you know, this whole play anywhere idea is the complete opposite of how another big company is trying to solve the same problem.
Yeah, let us talk about that difference because it's key. You've got Microsoft with Xbox Cloud Gaming. They also want you to play anywhere, but their whole model is based on streaming. The game runs on a massive server somewhere and it's just beamed to your screen. That means you need a rock-solid internet connection and you're paying a monthly subscription. Valve's approach? Totally different. They want the game to run locally, right there on your device, using its own power. That means you're not tied to the internet and you're not paying a subscription to access the games you already own.
So, okay, that's the tech and that's the strategy. But what does all this behind-the-scenes stuff actually mean for us, the people actually playing the games? Well, this is where it gets really fun, because this tech could unlock a whole new generation of gaming devices.
I mean, just let your imagination run with this for a second. Picture a future Steam Deck, but it's super thin and light, maybe like an old PSP, but it has enough battery to play something demanding like Helldivers 2 for hours. Or how about a powerful VR headset that can run Half-Life Alyx completely on its own with no PC and no wires? We could even see the comeback of powerful gaming phones or laptops that are as thin and light as a MacBook Air but can actually run Baldur's Gate 3. The possibilities are kind of mind-blowing.
But beyond all the cool new gadgets, there's a much deeper implication here, and it's all about freedom. See, for decades, PC gaming has been dominated by what people call the Wintel ecosystem. Basically, Windows and Intel, with NVIDIA also being a huge part of that. What Valve is doing with this open source push, it's a direct challenge to that status quo. It's about giving us, the gamers, a real alternative and breaking our reliance on just a few massive tech companies. Okay, but with any huge idea like this, there are always going to be some big questions and a healthy dose of skepticism. And the community has definitely been talking about this. So while there's a ton of hype, there are also some really valid concerns. Let's dig into what people are actually saying. So, this is probably the biggest pushback you'll see. The core argument is that native performance will always be best. The idea that something that's being translated on the fly can ever be as good as a game running on the hardware it was built for, well, it just doesn't sit right with a lot of people. And yeah, the thought of a phone keeping up with a high-end gaming PC does sound a little crazy. But, and this is a really important distinction, a lot of people hear this and immediately think of emulation, which we all know can be slow and clunky. This isn't emulation, it's a translation layer. And as this user, Ferris Duke 727 points out, it's a way more direct and efficient process. We're not pretending to be a whole other computer, we're just translating the instructions. And the performance because of that, it's already getting incredibly close to native.
I mean, how close? Well, a ton of games running through Proton are already hitting over 90% of the performance they get on Windows. And get this, some people actually report that certain games run better on SteamOS through Proton, with less memory usage and fewer stutters. So the tech is already seriously powerful.
But there is one giant roadblock still in the way, and that is anti-cheat software. You know, for huge online games like Valorant or Destiny 2, they use these really deep kernel-level anti-cheat systems that just flat out refuse to work with Proton right now. This is pretty much the final boss battle for Valve. If they can solve this problem, they can unlock a future where pretty much every PC game can run anywhere. Which brings us right back to where we started. The tech is basically there. Valve's vision for the future is crystal clear. The potential is absolutely massive. Really, that anti-cheat problem is the last major piece of the puzzle. But if, or maybe when, they solve that, the question isn't going to be if your next gaming PC can fit in your pocket, it's going to be which one you're going to pick.
If you enjoy this video, click like, share, subscribe and hit the bell to the latest update from my channel. Thank you for watching till the end and see you in the next video.